Nin Bonjour Akana Kebaowek no Manungum Kebaowek. Thank you for being here. Shirley. Thank you. Oh, thank you so very much for being here and guiding us and helping us along with this important issue that we'll be deliberating, discussing here today. I want to say good afternoon to each and every one of you. Thank you. I want to also acknowledge and want to say that we are gathered here on the unceded Algonquin territory, and so I want to thank the Algonquin Nation for welcoming us here today. I also want to lift up Chief Lance Heyman and his council for your leadership. Also to Chief Heyman for your many decades of service and delivery, not just for your people, but for all of us across the country. Thank you so very much for your work and your commitment to First Nations in this country. I also want to recognize all the other leaders and the knowledge keepers that are here to speak. I'm so impressed with all of you. Thank you for standing here with us in this important moment in time. I want to welcome each and every one of you to the Assembly of First Nations here at our office here in Ottawa. And I want to say to all nations that we are here to support you in Ottawa at any time. Chief Heyman and Councillor Roy have talked about the specifics of this issue. And I'm here to say, on behalf of the Assembly of First Nations, that we fully support the chiefs of the Algonquin Nations in opposing the nuclear landfill site at Chalk River. Canada's Nuclear Safety Commission decision to approve this location was made without proper consultation with Algonquin nations, in violation of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. So the Assembly of First Nations will extend our support to the highest levels required in this case, because First Nations have responsibility to our traditional territories that we hold sacred. These are our responsibilities, and they are for the future generations. These are our rights, and they are not for sale. The nuclear activities at Chalk River have had negative effects on the lands and waters for more than 70 years now. So it's time to put an end to this destruction of wetlands, to your drinking water, and to other parts of the ecosystem. Today's proceedings at the Federal Court of Appeal will speak volumes about the future of First Nations rights in this country, and it may prove to be a litmus test for large infrastructure projects being fast-tracked under new federal and provincial laws. When Bill C-5 was introduced, we warned parliamentarians about the limited time First Nations rights holders were provided to review and to respond to the bill. And sadly, Parliament did not listen to us. We told them. Instead, the federal government asked First Nations and all Canadians, including environmental groups, but all Canadians as a whole, to just trust them on C-5. Excuse me. At the Assembly of First Nations September Chiefs Assembly, Chiefs said not again. Unfortunately, rights holders have no confidence in the government to honor promises. Canada can keep fighting in court. They can create all the new project offices and the advisory groups that they want, but chiefs are united. When it comes to approval of large projects on First Nations land, there is no getting around rights holders. Until an appropriate process is established and founded in free, prior, and informed consent from First Nations, the Crown's legal obligations will not be met. Hundreds of billions of dollars worth of projects are forecast to be launched on First Nations over the next decade, right across this country. And they represent a cornerstone of Canada's economic future growth, but they won't advance without First Nations support. Can't stress that more than enough. We stand with all Canadians in condemning Trump's illegal tariffs. We pray for successful meetings for the Prime Minister at the White House today. We've been thinking about him this morning because First Nations, we've always had to fight for Canada in difficult times. And now is another one of those times, and here we are again. And the truth is, First Nations, we support economic growth, we support prosperity for all, but not at the expense of our rights or the Crown's legal obligations to our people. So just to conclude, I want to, that also includes, of course, the Kebaowek First Nation and other nations represented here today, that we stand with them. The Assembly of First Nations will be hand in hand beside them all the way to the Supreme Court if we have to. So miigwech, merci, thank you so very much for being here.